If there are any questions from the press.
Abka Fitz Henley, Nationwide News. Very good afternoon to you, Minister Hanna, to Burn Lara, and also all members at the head table and indeed who have attended this media briefing. The first question is to you, Minister Hanna. The Ministry of Youth and Culture, along with the Ministry of National Security, have been working over time at getting police stations retrofitted in order to accommodate our juveniles in a more comfortable space. Can you give us an update on how that process is going?
One of the things that you know is that many of our children who, whether they go missing or are in need of care and protection, or whether they come in conflict with the law, if an adult finds that child, the first place they will probably take them to is a police station. We've worked overtime, and UNICEF has actually congratulated the government of Jamaica this year and the Ministry of Youth and Culture in the programs that we've put in place for children, because they've recognized the work. And in keeping with the Beijing protocols and certainly other international protocols and our own Child Care and Protection Act, we have got $75 million in the budget this year to fix up police stations with child care units, so that if a child is brought in for whatever reason, that child can be housed in a manner that does not affect them even more. So we've started work in St. Elizabeth. We are starting in Portmore. We're starting in Monigue, and I believe Barrettown. And so most of them will be finished by next year, March. They were to have been completed, some of them were to have been completed by December, but with delays with rain and other things, we've been told by the NWA through the Jeep office that they will be completed by March. Well, currently the Ministry of Youth and Culture spends about $1.7 billion each year. We have 48 privately run children's homes, which we spend this year to subsidize about $721 million, and that takes care of about 1,800 plus children. We have another 8 government-run children's homes where we spend in excess of $435 million. Some of the things that you know we have done this year are working with the Ministry of National Security and Justice to separate all children from adults in correctional facilities. We have put in place Art for Life programs within our children's homes. We have streamlined our educational programs within the children's homes. And where we are going now is to ensure that our quality control, because we've audited all our children's homes, is to make sure that the quality control across all of them are fine. You are right, we don't have a lot of resources coming from government, and because neglect and children in need of care and protection, those numbers are going up. You will no doubt see more children coming, I'm sure, into state care, and we have some 5,800 plus children already.
We here in Jamaica and indeed in the Caribbean operate in a very tight fiscal space in terms of funding from central government. And therefore, I hear you speak and I get that there's an appreciation of donations such as the one Mr. Lara has made. Talk to us a bit about the efforts of the Ministry of Youth and Culture to attract similar donations and or investments in Jamaica and indeed in our youth.
Not only have persons like Mr. Lara come forward and are important, we also have other persons who have come forward. Recently in New York, I spoke at Kojo, and that is an institution that has given several scholarships to some of our children in state care. We have other private persons who come forward and say they want to give to other institutions like Maxfield Park. But I think certainly from a celebrity perspective, and celebrity in quotes, because he, I don't think, wants to be considered as a celebrity, but he is. We would welcome other persons to walk in Mr. Lara's footsteps, and feel free to come forward to make any donations necessary, whether in cash or kind, because we're ramping up our foster care program now. We have quite a few children in foster care, and what we've seen is that children who are fostered by families actually do a lot better. We had one youngster who got 11 distinctions in his CXC Cape. We had another one who just became a doctor. And so we're asking persons to not only mentor, but foster some of our children in state care as well.
Okay, finally for you, Minister Hanna, you are...
You don't have questions for Mr. Lara?
Oh, yes, I do.
Oh, I just wondered.
You are a noted public figure in your right, a former Miss World, politician, Minister of Youth and Culture. People listen to you. There are quite a few folks, juveniles, who are in detention facilities at this hour, at a time when we describe it as the festive season, New Year, Christmas, that sort of thing. People listen to you. Say a word of encouragement in their direction.
I would say to them that this is not their final stop, and to hold the faith, because we have such high expectations of them, and we know that regardless of their circumstance, regardless of where they're coming from, regardless of what they've experienced or what they might have done or what could have been alleged that they have done, we are here to continuously support them. And we just want to say to them, be of high spirits and be of good cheer, because their turning point is coming, and just to have some patience.
Thank you. Okay, I now turn my attention to Mr. Lara. Very good afternoon again to you, sir. Very often in the Caribbean, in Jamaica, and even around the world, we speak about using sports, entertainment, and culture to develop our youth. How well do you think we are doing in that regard? Are there any areas for improvement?
Well, first of all, if I was to dissect my life and my upbringing, I believe that parental support and any sort of infrastructure that can be set up for youngsters is necessary. I was fortunate to have parents that cared, and a coaching clinic from a very early age. And I believe that's where we're a bit short in providing for the youngsters in terms of our infrastructure for development from grassroots level. And I'm not just speaking about sport, I mean culture, in whatever aspects, even education. We need to have that infrastructure that builds the youngsters' characters. And seeing what has happened over the last 20 or 30 years, since my youthful days, I believe that throughout the Caribbean, and I can mainly speak for Trinidad and Tobago, but throughout the Caribbean, I feel that we need to do a lot more. They're impressionable from a very early age. You can get kids to do whatever you want if you provide for them in a positive manner. And I believe that I would like to see, and if it's CARICOM or the separate governments, pay a particular attention to that, because the youngsters can go in any direction. And I had a lot of negatives around me back in Santa Cruz in Trinidad and Tobago. And if it wasn't for some positive influences and people to pull me in the right direction, I don't know what could have happened to me today. So I'm very thankful for that. And I want to impress that we need to do a lot more. And not just today or tomorrow. We need to do it throughout, because the youngsters are our future. And if we don't take care of them, our future, even as we get older, could be compromised.
You, Lara, are of course a widely traveled man. You have been to India, all parts of the world, doing similar activities such as this. So in that context, we appreciate that it could have been anywhere else in the world that you chose to make this donation. Why Jamaica?
I have a great love for Jamaica, and I spent a lot of time here during my playing days. Since my playing days, I've been spending a lot of time, as you said, in India and England, a lot of the larger cricket playing nations. But I do find some time to visit Antigua, and I'm here in Jamaica. I have a lot of friends in Jamaica, and it's also a very festive time of the year. I've been speaking to Minister Hanna for quite some time about this particular project, and to bring some joy to the hearts of someone, and maybe a few more, is something very special to me. And I'm going to also have a very good time over the New Year period with my friends as well, and try to get out to the country and spend a little bit more time.
A Frenchman, right?
Well,
no comment. Okay, there you go.
And Brian, I've followed you during your career, and you have performed in the face of remarkable adversity. You have also spoken a good speak. I also recall former West Indies fast bowler Michael Holding saying Lara would make a very good politician. I hear you speak just now, and I hear the passion you have for development of our young people and issues affecting our Caribbean. How possible is it that we'll see Lara dipping his hat into the political arena sometime soon?
I don't see it necessary that you have to be a political figure to make a difference. I believe that someone like myself could enhance any government that's in charge. And I've done that in the past. I've been around for quite some time. And I see myself as a political figure, no, but see myself as someone who could be play an ambassadorial role in whatever field. You know, my government or any government in the Caribbean can call on me to play that part. I see myself as a Caribbean person and not anyone that's, you know, stignified by being a political figure at any point in time. I don't see that as being I'm not going to get my foot wet in politics. As I said, I see myself as a Caribbean man and someone who can play a very important role in whatever sphere that anyone sees fit, you know, and not being tied to any political party.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.